In this episode, we are going to cover basics of Webpack module bundler. Webpack is used to bundle your JS modules into a single file. And what that means is those JS modules are actually just files. We already talked about them. We actually talked about Webpack in some of the videos on this site, but using Laravel Mix instead of Webpack, and Laravel Mix is wrapper around Webpack. So JavaScript does not natively support file includes like PHP or Ruby or most of the other languages. Well, actually it does, but that feature is supported only in the newest of browsers. So that is where Webpack comes in, and it bundles your files so that almost all browsers can read them. It also helps us organize our JavaScript app into multiple files, which we can then import and use them when needed. But Webpack is much more than just a module bundler. It can also be used as a task runner, and some developers are using it exactly like that. Although in this video we are not going to go into detail about Webpack and its capabilities, but I will show you an example how you can compile your scss files into normal CSS files using Webpack, so that you can get taste of what Webpack can actually do. So first of all, let's create a Webpack test directory, cd into it, and then we are going to initialize npm. And I'm going to use this Y flag so I don't have to answer those questions. It will just answer them for me. So name Webpack test and so on. Okay, now that we have done that, let's install Webpack. Okay, now that this is done, we are ready to start developing. So first of all, let's just open up this in Sublime. And now I'm going to create two new files right here. So the first one is going to be in the app folder, and it's going to be called app.js. Okay, so now we have this right here, and the next one is going to be called greetings.js. Okay, so now we have these two files. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more file called index.php, HTML. Webpack, and we can leave it empty for now. So let's just see if this works. Okay, when I'm using Laravel Valet for this, so I'm accessing this page through webpack-test-localhost. Okay, so now we have index.html, we have greetings.js and app.js. So now what we want to do is we want to create a function right here called hello, and it's going to console log out something, and it's going to console log hello world. Okay, so this is what this function does. Now what we want to do is we want to run this function in this file right here. But we can't do that through normal JavaScripting. What we could do is we could go to index.html, create a script tag for greetings.js, and then call it in, and then call our app.js, and then we would be able to use that. But using Webpack, that's a bit different. So instead of function hello, we are going to export this function. So we are exporting this default function, which is called hello, and now we need to import it into our app.js file. So we would do import greetings, so the name of the file, since we are importing the default function. You will see later that you can export multiple functions, so greetings from, and since it's in the same directory, we use this --, greetings. Of course, you can write JS, or you can just do greetings. and that should actually be it. So now we want to bundle up these two files. So first of all, I'm just going to say hello. So run this function that we created right here, save this, and we want to bundle up those two files. The file that we are going to call that bundled file bundle.js. So you can use Webpack without any configuration, and how you would do that is you can just go to your command line, and then you do node modules .bin Webpack, and then file your entry file. So our entry file is going to be app.js. So we do app.js, and we wanna bundle it into the dist folder. So dist, and it's going to be called bundle.js. Okay, so no configuration whatsoever. This should work. So if I press enter, as you can see, something happened, and as you can see, we have this dist folder right here with bundle.js in it, and these are all some Webpack stuff that are always included in that bundled file. But as you can see right here, we have this hello function, and that function is defined right here. And now if we go to our index.html file, call up the src equals dist and bundle.js. If we call this file in and refresh this page, check out our console. Let's refresh it again. So reference error, hello is not defined. Okay, so this doesn't work because we need to actually import hello from greetings. Let's try it now. So first of all, we have to bundle it again. Okay, refresh the page. And now, as you can see, we get hello world. I got a little confused right here. So you're not exporting greetings from greetings, but hello from greetings. And now we have access to that greetings, actually hello function right here. Now, of course, you will rarely use Webpack like this. So doing node modules bin Webpack and then defining your entry point and your output point. What you would usually do is actually create a new file right here, and that file is going to be called, just a second, okay, so that file is going to be called webpack.config.js. So this is the Webpack's configuration file, and when you run Webpack, Webpack is automatically going to look for this file, and then it's going to read it, and it's going to read up your configuration. So the most simplest configuration, and which you can see on their site right here, is just this. So I'm just going to copy it actually and paste it right here. So what we got right here is our entry point, which is app.js, but for us is app.js, and we want to output it into dist bundle.js. And this is our whole configuration for now. So if I save this and go right here, I can just do without these entry inputs, entry points and output points. I can just do node modules.bin Webpack, press enter, and it should do the same thing. So let's actually, just to show you a bit better, delete this directory, dist directory, and then just run this again. And as you can see, we get the same thing. So we got our bundle.js file. Okay, so of course you don't want to use this node modules.bin Webpack every time you want to make some changes. So what we are going to do now is we're going to open up our package.json file and create some scripts for Webpack. Scripts, and we are going to create two scripts. One is for building and one is for watching. And to create a build script, you would just do build. so that it shows us the progress and hides the modules. Okay, and we are going to create one more script, which is going to be called watch. Webpack watch. So Webpack has this watch function that is going to look at your files and automatically bundle them. Also progress and also hide modules. Okay, save this. And now if we want to bundle up our files, we can just do npm run build. Okay, so now our files are bundled that way. And also if we do npm run watch, it's going to watch the changes in our files and bundle our JS files whenever we make a change. So that is what we are going to do now. So as I said, you don't have to, for one file, export just one function. You can export multiple functions, and there are a few ways that you can do that. So we can create another function. Are we going to call that function goodbye? So something is wrong with this. Goodbye is not spelled that way. So goodbye is with an E. Okay. So goodbye, and we are going to console log goodbye world. That's a bit dark. Goodbye world. Okay. So now we have two functions right here, and we are exporting only this one. So how do we export multiple functions? One way you could do that is just doing export function goodbye, and export function hello. So not default, not anything, just export function hello and goodbye. Save this, and if I go right here, then I need to import two functions. So when you are exporting the functions that way, you need to use these curly braces. So we are importing function hello, and also we are importing function goodbye. Okay, so if I save this and say goodbye right here, save it, go to our page, refresh it, and as you can see, we get hello world and goodbye world. So this is the way you can export multiple functions into your one file. So what else? There is another way actually to do that. So you can remove export altogether from here, right? So you would have function hello and function goodbye, and now you can export default, make an object out of it, which is going to contain hello, so our hello function and our goodbye function, right? So we are calling hello and goodbye. Now that when we save this, we need to import it by doing import greetings. And now this won't work because we are exporting an object, so we have to say greetings dot hello and greetings dot goodbye. Okay, if you save this, go right here, refresh the page, as you can see, we get the same thing. If we check out our bundle.js, we can see, so we have this function hello, we have this function goodbye, and that's about it. Of course, you would use Webpack to handle your dependencies. So let's say your project has a need for jQuery. So what you can do, of course, you can go to the jQuery's page, download jQuery, and use the script tag to import it. But what we are going to do is we're going to do npm install jQuery. And now that the jQuery is in our node modules folder, we can just go into our app.js and do something like import $sign from jQuery. Right, and that's it. Now to test if this works, we can just do something like so we are going to have a button on our index.html page, and on click of that button we are going to throw out an alert the button was clicked. Okay, if I save this, go to my index.html, I need to create that button. Okay, save this, and of course this actually doesn't work just yet because we need to run npm run watch so that we bundle up everything. And now if I go right here, refresh this page, I have this click me right here, and if I click it, as you can see, jQuery actually works. And if we check out our bundle.js, you will see that now this is a much bigger file because it's including jQuery in it also. Of course, you can use jQuery, you can use Vue.js, Axios, whatever you want. So whatever dependencies you have, you can use this syntax to import them and then just use them. So remember, this series is created just to get you acquainted with some of the technologies that are used in the front end, and when you start looking for a job, at least you would know what the employer is asking for of you. Probably a lot of employers right now would actually require some knowledge of Webpack, but you don't have to be too much concerned about it, because when you get to a new company, there is probably already a Webpack config file ready for you to go. But just so you know what is happening in that file, we are going to show how you can use Webpack as kind of a task runner, kind of like gulp, so that you can, for example, take scss files and compile them to normal css files using Webpack and not gulp. As I said, we are not going to go in depth, we are just going to explain how you can do that. So first of all, we are going to install some things, and I'm going to install CSS loader, Node.js, extract text Webpack plugin, and that should be it. So what are these loaders right here? So there are transformers that know what to do with certain types of files. So Webpack by default knows JavaScript, but it doesn't know CSS, SCSS, CSS, it doesn't know any of that. So you have to have these loaders present. So we are installing CSS loader, CSS loader, we are installing Node.js so that the actual compilation will be done with that. And we are installing this extract text Webpack plugin so that we can extract our SCSS into our separate file. Okay, so now that this is done, we are going to go to our webpack.config.js, and then we are going to create module. And we are going to create some rules. So actually an array of rules. And in those rules, we are going to have some rules for compiling our SCSS files. So first of all, we need to check for all the files that are SCSS files. And we'll do this by using regex or regular expressions. So you do this dot SCSS, $, and that's it. Next thing, you need to use extract text plugin. So since we are using it, we need to import it right here. And to do that, you can just go to their GitHub page and you can just copy this. So extract text plugin, and we just put it right here. And now we use extract text plugin to extract some CSS. Extract text plugin, extract. And we are going to be using loaders to do that. And I'm writing it this way because what you need to understand that what you are using is actually going to be read from right to left. So first of all, we need to run our code through scss loader, so that that we installed. So this is going to run our scss code, and now we need also something to compile our CSS code so that Webpack understands CSS. So we just do CSS loader. Okay, so now this is going to be first, this is going to be second. Okay. Now what we need to do is actually create plugins. And in here we are going to say new extract text plugin, and then we are going to tell it where we want to extract our SCSS file, and I'm going to extract it into the dist folder and the subfolder called CSS, and I'm going to call that file style.css. Okay, so I'm getting kind of an error right here. Maybe I need a comma. Nope. I hope this code will work, but I'm getting some errors right here. Oh, so this should be a comma actually. Okay. And I think this is all set to go. Of course, please Google loaders, Google Webpack, everything you can, read the documentation. I don't have the time to explain all of this, and also I don't know all of this. This is pretty new to me also, and I'm not an expert in Webpack in any way. So, okay, save this, and now we need to tell Webpack, okay, there is this file called style.scss. So how do we do that? So we do that by importing it, actually requiring it in our app.js file. So that's new. You're actually requiring CSS files or SCSS files in JavaScript files, but you can do that. So require SCSS style.css. Okay, so we need to create that file, of course. Okay, so now we are creating file. I'm not creating it right, so I should actually create it like this. Okay, app SCSS style CSS. Dobro. Okay, now we have this style CSS, and let's just write something in it. Background is red, and body is going to have background of background. So just that we can check if our SCSS is actually working. So we save this. Now we have okay, now we have app. We have SCSS directory in it, and then we have this style.scss. Okay, so if everything works correctly, now when we run npm run build, we should get new file. Okay, so it seemed it worked. So if we go to right here in the dist folder, we have this CSS folder, and in that folder we have style.css. And as you can see, it is compiled, so it's not like this file, but it's compiled to normal CSS that any browser can understand. So this is the way you would compile your SCSS files. Also, if you don't want to require this file right here, so I'm just going to delete this. Delete. Okay, so we are deleting this CSS folder. If you don't want to require your files through JavaScript, you can delete this save it, and you can go to your Webpack config file and you can define another entry point. So to do that, you would just create an array right here. So this is going to be an array of entry points. So the first one is going to be app.js, and the second one is going to be app scss style.scss. Okay, so this is our other entry point. Okay, when we save this, go right here, run npm run build again. We didn't get any errors, and as you can see, we are also getting this CSS directory with style.css in it. As I've said, this is not a complete tutorial for Webpack, it's just something to get you started. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel, maybe subscribe to it. Also, if you want to ask me questions, you can do that via Instagram, Twitter, GitHub, YouTube, and so on. And if you want to send some money my way, you can use the Patreon page for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.